Imagine a shadow, a chilling shriek that paralyses even the bravest warrior, a presence of pure terror that hunts relentlessly. That is the fear the Nazgûl inspired in Middle-earth. Their power seemed absolute, their presence an inescapable dread. So, how exactly did the power of these dreaded Ringwraiths, the Nazgûl, finally break? Their immense and terrifying power was directly tied to the One Ring and their dark master, Sauron. Once the One Ring was utterly destroyed and Sauron was vanquished, the very source of their strength vanished, causing them to dissipate into nothingness. The core of the Nazgûl's power lay in their origin. They were once 9 mortal kings, lured by Sauron's gifts of rings of power, which promised them immortality and dominion. However, these rings enslaved them, twisting their mortal forms into spectral beings, forever bound to Sauron's will and the fate of the One Ring. They existed in the unseen world, a plane invisible to most mortals, but their power in the physical realm was an extension of Sauron's own might. They were not independent entities but rather instruments of his malice, their strength waxing and waning with his. Without the One Ring, Sauron was greatly diminished, and with its destruction, his essence was shattered, and so too was their connection to any form of power or existence. The critical moment for the Nazgûl came with the quest to destroy the One Ring. The true undoing of the Nazgûl was not a direct battle against them, but the successful completion of Frodo Baggins' mission. As the One Ring was cast into the fires of Mount Doom, the catastrophic collapse of Sauron's power instantly reverberated through his servants. One by one, the Ringwraiths, who were hovering over Mount Doom itself, were consumed by the raging inferno and the collapse of the land. Their physical forms were obliterated, and their spectral existence, no longer tethered by the ring or Sauron's will, was finally extinguished. It is fascinating to consider that while they were powerful, the Nazgûl also had distinct vulnerabilities. In their wraith form, they could be temporarily repelled by fire, sunlight, and running water, especially sacred water like the Brúhínin. Aragorn was able to drive them off at Weathertop using fire. Glorfindel famously used the floodwaters of the Brúhínin to sweep them away. These were temporary setbacks, though, as long as the ring existed. Their true doom came from the complete destruction of the very object that created and sustained them, highlighting the conditional nature of their terrifying might. The ultimate fate of the Nazgûl powerfully illustrates that even the most terrifying and seemingly invincible evil, when rooted in deceit and external objects of power, contains the seeds of its own destruction. Their disappearance brought an end to centuries of terror for the free peoples of Middle-earth, proving that true freedom comes not from wielding such power, but from its eradication. Their story serves as a profound reminder that the greatest darkness can be overcome when its source is confronted and extinguished.